back to Lombardi Sweep, your award-nominated Green Bay Packers podcast. Yes, so if you're watching the YouTube stream or video stream wherever, definitely scan this QR code. If you were listening or you don't know how to scan a QR code, certainly we have a demographic for that a little bit. Packer fans, a lot of older whites. Go to volume1.org, and you'll see a big thing that says best of. You'll see this little symbol like you see on the screen. All you got to do is log in with an email address, go to Best Local Podcast, and vote for Lombardi Sweep, vote for the Flurry Sports Podcast. Same area. You can also vote for Best Local Writer. That is myself, Zach Bruner. Scroll down to the bottom. I'll be the last one listed there. But yes, if you can vote for us, if we could win the Best Podcast Award, boy, we would rub it in a lot of people's faces. Yeah. We should be taking home a trophy. I think it's good omen. If we take home a trophy, maybe the Packers bring a Lombardi home this year.
Agreed. Yes, I agree 100%. Just speaking of old whites for a second, I had some aged white cheddar the other day, and every time I eat white cheddar cheese, I think, like, why don't I eat this more? Because that might be like a top 3 food to ever exist.
It's so much better than regular cheddar. Yeah. Regular cheddar is great, but you're 100% correct. It's slept on. It's never. I'm always surprised to see it.
It must be hard to find.
I wonder. Yeah, I don't know. And that's a great tie-in. That's the best old white that I can think of, I think. Yeah. I mean, maybe you can talk about Santa. I don't know, but too early for that.
Yeah, I was thinking like Thanksgiving. Robert De Niro.
True. Was Betty White? Maybe it has passed on to De Niro now. Betty White was a great old white.
Yeah. Old whites, Sister Jean. You've been following Loyola Chicago at all? They're just a horrible team now. Instead of doing fun things like what's Red Panda at halftime? The one where they do 3-on-3, just guys playing basketball at halftime. Yeah, Loyola Chicago's in a bad spot right now. Yeah,
they're just they don't know what to do after Sister Jean's gone.
Right.
But you know what? It would be quite the twist if Sister Jean, after death, has earned our respect. Maybe she was pulling the strings there more than we thought.
Yeah, I can't believe she hung on for so long.
No kidding. It was a Bob Barker situation. Everyone thought she died, and Bob was still around, still kicking it.
Have you one more thing before we get into Lombardi Sweep here?
Yeah.
Have you watched Chad Powers?
No. I can't tell if it looks good or bad.
It's pretty. I mean, it's stupid, but it's fun.
Is it good? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to give it a watch.
I like it a lot.
What's the main guy's name?
Glenn Powell.
I don't know if I like him.
Oh, he's the man.
Is he? Do I need to like him to like the show?
No.
I'm indifferent.
I mean, I like Glenn Powell, so I'm probably biased on that. But I would say no. I don't know.
Okay. I've never seen a movie with him. I just him as a person. I don't know.
You haven't seen the new
Top Gun? No. I haven't seen the first Top Gun.
Yeah, I don't like those movies, which is kind of blasphemous to say because people love them. I don't know.
Yeah.
The plane stuff is cool. I don't really care about the love story and all that. Glenn Powell is
also not a guy who is I'm not going to get on my knees for Tom Cruise either, to be honest.
Agreed. Glenn Powell was good, and Everybody Wants Some. If you've ever seen that, that's a great movie.
Okay, I've heard of it.
Yeah, but baseball team in the '80s, their last 2 days before college starts. It's a very fun movie.
Okay.
Nothing really happens in that movie. It's just them living their lives out through 2 days.
That's great. I'm down for that. That's a great pitch.
Yep.
Well, we'll watch that, give our full review once the Packers season's done, because the Packers are in the thick of it right now. Last week we talked about how big of a game it was against the Minnesota Vikings. This was a must-win game because we cannot give J.J. McCarthy any sort of momentum in his career. We can't be that team, and if we beat them, we can crush them, and the media would destroy them. We said all of that, and it played out even better than I think we could have imagined.
Yep.
Not only did J.J. McCarthy lose, but I don't think there's any doubt that he was the sole reason.
Right. Yeah, just got slaughtered. Defense teed off on him. And just anytime, I guess he had one good pass to Justin Jefferson. I remember on a corner route, threw it over a defender.
Yep.
But that might have been Minnesota's only good play of the day.
Through the air, they ran the ball with ease against the Packers, which is something the Packers need to shore up now.
Yeah.
That needs to get fixed Wednesday night as we record this, because tomorrow, Thursday, Thanksgiving, Detroit comes to town. They will not be with the newly unretired center Frank Ragnow. Thank God. The Packers dodging that, I think, is fantastic. The fact that the Packers interior defenders, and that includes Micah Parsons, he'll line up there sometimes, gets to face the interior three of Detroit is great news. The fact that Devontae Wyatt is seemingly healthy and playing well and gets to match up with those guys, that's great news. We'll get to that game in a second, but that's going to be a hell of a game. I think that's going to be a very good game.
Yeah, it's a great kickoff for the week.
Yes, that's must-watch TV, and it could have major playoff implications down the road. Yep. Like, to be honest, whoever loses that game, strong chance they lose or they miss out on the playoffs.
Yeah, and that's why beating them week 1 was so big.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, we got lucky playing them week 1 where they're, disoriented, rusty, but coaches don't know their specific roles yet. And now we get lucky that we get to match up with them before their all-pro center comes back. That's great news. We'll get into the injury report in a second, but just any major takeaways other than JJ McCarthy was bad last game?
I had a couple things. Like Micah Parsons, I say it every show, but he's just incredible that he's on our team. Seeing it's just crazy. Like we and I know that we've, not had the fondest of, opinions on Rashawn Gary. And I don't mean this to be a dig at him, but I'm probably going to make it a dig at him. It's incredible, like, how much better of a player Micah Parsons is than Rashawn Gary, where Micah Parsons just runs through 3 guys and while that's happening, Rashawn Gary is just not even close to anywhere near the play. So that's one thing that I noticed. The other thing I noticed is, and I was at the game. I was in the crowd for this game.
Okay.
I felt like the Packers threw the ball like maybe 3 times in the second half. They're just able to run down the field. People were booing that they were running the ball. And
stupid.
The red zone and taking the field goals. Like, I get, you want to get excited, but we can't, make fun of Matt LaFleur for being a bad play caller, and then he just called an incredible game and boo him the entire time he calls an incredible game. But I guess, right, that's got to be the game plan without, we talked extensively last week, right, about how Minnesota brings all these weird pass rushes. You never know where guys are coming from. I guess the way to beat that is just run right at them, right? It felt like the Packers just ran halfback dive the entire second half, and Emmanuel Wilson churned up 4 or 5 yards of carry, which, great to see Emmanuel Wilson, which we're both Josh Jacobs guys. Makes you think, how much do the Packers really need Josh Jacobs to play football right now when, you can kind of conserve him for the playoffs?
I mean, my opinion goes back to, and again, I do like Josh Jacobs. I think he's a good player, but it goes back to the day we signed him.
Yeah.
I said, I don't think he's a fit for this offense. I still don't. Yeah. I understand he's had success in this offense, but Packers need that second guy to just be that complimentary. They need a guy who can actually run outside zone. And I don't even necessarily think Emmanuel Wilson's that guy, but just having somebody with a bit of burst and wiggle helps a lot.
Right.
It's great. But yeah, if this offense could play under center and then, the running back has an option to run 2 different directions, and then the whole running play speeds up a little bit, then we can work play action. That's the Matt LaFleur offense. I wish we could run that. Maybe someday Jordan Love will be hurt and we could run that offense. That would be fantastic.
We did it 2 games last year with Malik Willis.
Yeah, we had a drive this year, last week or 2 weeks ago. Yeah, I mean, that's the Matt LaFleur offense. People of Wisconsin piss and moan when the Badgers don't run the ball, and then we piss and moan when the Packers run the ball. So I don't fully get it. It's really weird that it is weird. I don't understand the full hatred towards running the football at all. Like, first off, that's what the offense is built on. I don't think anyone truly understands that who's upset. But then 2, I don't know, why would you be upset with running the football?
Well, why would you be upset with running the football if you're getting 5 yards of carry?
Well, that too. Yeah, if you're having success and you're upset, then
there's just no reason
that makes 0 sense. No, and Packer fans want Jordan Love to just drop back and let it rip, I guess. I mean, I wish we had enough of a lead in the NFC. Like, if we had the Rams record, I would love to give Jordan Love 50 passes one game just to shut people up. Like, okay, you want it? Here, let's do it. And then we'll get it out of our system. Then we can do what we want to do. And I do appreciate questions in the chat. We are going to do a fantasy football show immediately following this, which this show will be a shorter one, and we'll answer any and all questions. Appreciate you, K-Space. But yeah, there isn't much to take away from this game. Packers run defense continues to get beat up. I don't think the Vikings would have won, but the fact that they fumbled that punt and then
Yeah.
they really couldn't even establish,
I mean,
they couldn't even go to the run the rest of the game.
that was the
That was
game.
huge.
That punt was the
Yeah.
game.
Yeah. If they had the ability to actually be a balanced offense and run the football and go down the field and score there, then, who knows how that game ends up. But the fact that JJ McCarthy was in obvious pass situations, extremely uncomfortable. Vikings offensive line was beat up and not playing well, obviously, against the pass rush. Like, that's it. I, as a Packer fan looking at this, am not out on JJ McCarthy, but like he needs to, like he would benefit from a season in the UFL, to be completely honest. He needs to have success because right now he's thinking every step of the way. And if he's thinking every step of the way, his whole process slows way down. And you don't got the luxury to do that in the NFL.
Yeah, and you're right. Talking about teeing off on him this week, a couple of those sacks were, I think, probably the fault of JJ McCarthy's own, just holding the ball on too long and being a rookie and not a rookie,
Yeah.
but a young guy and trying to make a play. Which whatever you make the play, it's a defense you take what the offense gives you, right? Which is nice to see. But I mean, is that the same thing with the Jared Goff? Is that the same thing with the Caleb Williams? Is that the same thing with a Lamar Jackson coming up?
Jared Goff, maybe. We'll
Yeah,
see. The others, I'm afraid of, not just because they're mobile, but just because they do seem to have a quick trigger. Like if something that is there, they're going to take it. We can use that to transition to this game. Like Jared Goff this year has looked like two different people, but people forget what he has been his entire career. Like this is what Jared Goff is. If he's under pressure, this guy stinks. He's bad. So the fact that they don't have Frank Ragnow coming back for this game, the Packers can run a bunch of exotics and different stunts on the interior of that defensive line and get after him quick. That could make a massive, massive difference. But we'll look at the injury report here and the betting lines. The Packers are the only team this season prior to this week, and this is a stat I heard from a family member and did not check, and I assume it's correct.
Yeah.
I think it's correct. Packers are the only team in the NFL to be favored every single game this season.
It sounds right.
Yeah, like because they were favored against the Eagles. We thought that was strange.
Yep.
And they were favored against the Lions week 1. So the Packers have for sure been favored in every game. The stat of them being the only team, little unsure, but sounds correct to me. Regardless, that is until this week. The Packers are underdogs for the first time this season. Packers go to Detroit Thanksgiving, 3-point underdogs, and this is a big over-under as well. Big total projected 49. Actually, it's gone down. Never mind. It opened at 49.5. It's gone down to 47.5. Still higher than what the Packers have seen lately. That suggests there's going to be some points scored, which is something the Packers defense obviously has been limiting. Packers offense hasn't truly waken up, but the Packers defense has held teams below 20 more often than not this season. So coming into this game, sounds like there's going to be a lot of points scored. And if that's the case, I'm a little worried.
Great.
And the Packers offense keep up? That's the question.
Yeah. It's so when we talk about the Packers offense keeping up, right? It's we Josh Jacobs playing this week. We know that Josh Jacobs is going to be involved in that. I mean, other than Josh Jacobs, we as long as we've been doing the show since Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams have left, it's always been the question: who's the next player? Like who is that going to be that guy to kind of step up and make that play? Now with Kirby Joseph out, maybe that deep opens up a little bit for some Christian Watson throws. You get Christian Watson to stretch. You get some intermediate stuff with Romeo Doubs. Jaden Reed, I don't know if I guess I didn't do my due diligence on looking at the injury report if he's coming back or not. But this almost feels like it could be and I know I hate to say it because I've been saying it, the last couple of weeks, and he just hasn't been playing good football. It almost feels like it could be a Luke Musgrave game.
I hope so. Last week, I understand why he was taken out. I still think he's a really good blocker, so I think we can use him. But regardless, he was benched the game before that because of a not necessarily a fumble. It was ruled not a fumble, I believe. But yeah, I think Luke Musgrave's too good of a player to keep off the field. And regardless, if you're trying to unlock somebody's potential here, I would have him on the field over a John Fitzpatrick or a Josh Weil, I believe his name is. Kind of mind-blowing to me, but regardless, whatever. Let's look at that injury report. And Matt LaFleur is intentionally being a little coy about Jaden Reed in particular. They asked him if he's going to play for Thanksgiving. He said, "We'll see."
No,
I don't think he will.
Not a bad answer by him.
Not a bad. Yeah, I wouldn't. There's no point in showing your hand,
Right.
but I don't think he's going to play. But regardless, players we know for the Packers that are out is Carl Brooks is out with an ankle injury. Um, oh, never mind. Jaden Reed is officially ruled out now.
Okay.
So Jaden Reed is out. Lucas Van Ness is out. He played, I think, like 6 snaps last game. Didn't feel right. He's out again. Savion Williams is out, which means somebody else is going to have to play returner. And players who are limited or were limited in walkthroughs on Wednesday, we were talking about Matthew Golden with a wrist injury, Nate Hobbs with a knee injury, Josh Jacobs with a knee injury, but he's already been deemed to play. Keyshawn Nixon with a neck injury. That one's truly questionable, I think. And that means he's not going to be a returner either then.
Yeah, I was at the game. I never got an update. Like, what was the injury? Was it just a stinger?
That's what I thought it was.
Yeah.
But if that's the case, and it sounds like he's truly 50-50 to go. If that's the case, it seems like it would be more than a stinger.
Yeah. That's got to be, probably up there with like twisted ankles, like most annoying injuries in sports.
It's bad. I used to have it in my shoulder. I had to wear an extra layer of pads underneath my shoulder pads, because every time I hit, like right on the top of the shoulder, my whole arm would go completely limp for like 3 minutes. Essentially, it was a real bummer. It was so fucking annoying. Yeah. So yeah, that is not good. I mean, because there's nothing you can do about it.
Right. It's such an odd, not an odd name, but such like an intense name for an injury that doesn't really affect you that much, but it's just annoying.
Yes, terrible. And then if it's actually continued to be pinched, then like you're done. It sucks. Other limited players, Zach Tom was limited with a back, I guess. Quay Walker limited with a neck injury as well. And that's it. For the Lions, no one as of now has been ruled out, except for Kirby Joseph, like you said. But other players who did not participate. Brock Wright didn't participate. That's an interesting one, considering he's filling in for Sam Laporta at tight end. Khalif Raymond didn't participate with an ankle injury. He was out last week, probably out again. Graham Glasgow, who has been playing center. Josh Pascal, edge rusher. And that's it. But yeah, Lions are a little bit beat up. Offensive line, like I said, that middle three, they stink. They're just not very good.
Yep.
So that is a point of weakness for sure. Not only can the Packers attack there with their edge rushers, but decent chance the Lions are very inefficient running there, which means those edges, we need to stay home. We need to fucking play fundamental football. Talking to you, Rashawn Gary.
Yep. Yeah, that right. So I guess kind of right, shutting down that run. Of course, the Lions want to run the ball. If the Lions run the ball on you, you're done. So I have his stats up here. Packers actually fared like very good against Jahmyr Gibbs in his time in Detroit. He's got 221 rushing yards and 1 rushing touchdown over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games. So
has he been pretty big receiving though?
Receiving, he has 102 receiving yards, 1 receiving touchdown.
Okay.
So about 64 total yards and less than a touchdown a game. Now, obviously, that it's in, he didn't. I'm sure this season, I would imagine, is probably Jahmyr Gibbs' most used season. I guess it would be the term there.
Yep.
So we'll see how that goes. But in inverse of that, I mean, David Montgomery absolutely killed the Packers. So I'm wondering if that flips just based on the usage rates or however you want to say it. But shutting down that run is important to your point. Like those ends have to squeeze. And I mean, Isaiah McDuffie, for as small of a player, he hit TJ Hawkins pretty hard last week. That was awesome. But coming up to Phil, like it almost feels like you have to cheat up a little bit, considering there's not really a threat of a receiving tight end if Brock Wright is out. So I guess then that main player would be Amon-Ra St. Brown. And this is what the issue with Detroit is. They just have so many ways to attack you, right? How do you stop Amon-Ra St. Brown, I guess, is my equation here.
Yeah, I mean, the Packers have been, not only have they just been pushed back up front in terms of the running game, but they're undisciplined in their run fit right now.
Yeah.
And I mean, short week, I can't imagine that's going to improve much, but those linebackers need to fill. It's been gross. It's been Rico Dowdle beating us. It's been Aaron Jones and Jordan Morgan, or Mason rather, had moments last week. Like anyone right now can get it on the Packers. Anyone can run it against them. So if we can stop that and force Jared Goff to be the one to beat us, like they're not going to do it. I
Right.
don't think.
Right.
The other guy to watch, I think, for Detroit, first off, we got to get to Jared Goff so he can't throw it to Jamison Williams
Correct.
downfield. But Isaac Tesla, if
Yeah.
Khalif Raymond's out, the rookie Tesla is probably going to play a little bit more. Super smart guy, former quarterback, big player. Seems like a good game for a coming out party on primetime Thanksgiving for him. That would be somebody I would be a little bit nervous against. But if we can stop the running backs, I think the Packers are in a good spot.
Yeah, I saw a clip on the St. Brown podcast where they had Tesla on, and they asked him, like, name all 4 teams in the NFC North, and Tesla ripped him off. And Amon Ross and St. Brown goes, not a lot of guys can do that. Like, we're not fucking dumbasses. Like, it's just the stupidest show of all time. But Amon Ross St. Brown, I wonder, it's probably a Javon Bullard game for him, right? And Javon Bullard has been playing good football this year after playing just like dog shit last year. So is that something where you get physical with him at the line of scrimmage, bounce him off his route, and try to get him out of the space, and maybe you take a penalty or two with it? I don't know.
I mean, that's also a person that, not that he's a good player, but Nate Hobbs can bully some people at the line of scrimmage.
Right.
Like if he's not hitting Jamison Williams at the line of scrimmage, hitting Tesla, that would be good. If we can jam the Detroit wide receivers other than Amon-Ra, like just bracket cover him, essentially. That's how you got to do it. And if Detroit has any sort of time whatsoever, then at worst they're going to check it down to Jahmyr Gibbs, and I hate that for us too. So, got to be disciplined. You got to get to Jared Goff. You got to hit him early. Anytime, if you're a sports bettor, if you're a football fan, whatever it is, you can tell what kind of Jared Goff day it's going to be by the first quarter. Yep. He does not recover. He doesn't do anything else. First quarter, if we can hit him and get him rattled right away, Packers will win this game.
Yep.
Like, we just can't get down. We can't give Detroit any cushion where it's like they're up by 1 or 2 scores at the end of the first quarter and all of a sudden they can just lean on the run. Then we're fucked.
Correct.
But we can't do that. We have to come up fast. It has to be like Thanksgiving a couple years ago, I believe it was.
Yep.
Packers Lions. Like, that's what needs to happen. We can't be asleep at the wheel. Our offense can't. We had a good scripted first drive last week. That's what it has to be this week too.
Yep. Yeah, this is a game where, and I talk about this all the time, but when you're playing a good team, I like starting with the ball and trying to get that first touchdown to kind of set the tone. And if you're playing, a team that you can kind of just feel out, then I like receiving. This feels like you win the coin toss, try to come down and make some weird shit happen. Let's do something goofy. And get get a bullshit touchdown, kind of like what the Giants did with Jameis Winston, something weird like that.
That Jameis receiving touchdown is play of the year for me. By the way, that was insane. So it'll be interesting to see how the Packers attack the Lions this week. Lions are a pretty good run defense, so for the people who want Jordan Love to rip it and just drop back and pass a bunch, it kind of should be a game where Jordan Love passes a decent amount. I think you can beat the Lions secondary.
Yeah. In that case, the I guess the number one guy I'm worried about always when we play the Lions. Number one guy I'm worried about is Aiden Hutchinson, especially if Zach Thomas is playing at right tackle. Like, Aiden Hutchinson is just going to swim over the top of him every single play. So is that a Chris Brooks? Probably see a lot of Chris Brooks in this game just to get some kind of chip and give Jordan Love that extra half a second.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it helps that Pascal potentially may not play.
Yeah.
Where we can just, key everything off of him.
I am petrified.
Off of Hutchinson.
Petrified of that guy. He's so good.
He's really good. Brian Branch is really good. They could, run him opposite of Hutchinson on a safety blitz.
Yeah, Brian Branch is someone too. Like, he's a good player, but I mean, he's gonna play, dirty. He's gonna play chippy. So hopefully, you don't fuck anything up with the receiver core that's already been fucked up for the last couple of weeks.
It really stinks because we remember draft coverage. He was the guy I was pitching the Packers to get hard. God, if we had him on our team, just adding him to this current defense that is already fast and just hits people, that's the difference maker. That's the edge that we need.
Yep.
It'd be nice. Anything else about this game before we give our predictions?
No, it should be a fun one, right? It feels like Packers Lions is becoming that new, right? It's kind of surpassed the Vikings a little bit and becoming that new, these are the 2 best teams in the division. Year after, I guess it's only been 2 or 3 years, but year after year, and I'll say, It's kind of the game that you get up for. Like this is the game that you had circled on the schedule when it came out. Thanksgiving game, the whole nation's going to be watching, sitting down eating turkey. And Packers have fared well in Thanksgiving over the last couple of years. Jordan Love's played well on Thanksgiving over the last couple of years. So hopefully it's the same story this week.
Yeah, 100%. I don't know if it's a Toyota-thon thing or whatever the hell it is, but that's very true. And again, if the Packers or Lions lose, they're not necessarily out of it. But as of right now, in terms of playoff picture, just so we know, Packers are the 6th seed at 7-3-1. The Lions are the first team out at 8 at 7-4. So obviously, if the Lions win, they would leap the Packers. Packers would be out. The 49ers are in between us at 8-4. Seahawks are ahead of us at 8-3.
Yeah.
And we also have Carolina right after the Lions. Obviously, they have that tiebreaker at 6-6, and the Cowboys are 5-1, just underneath them. So if the Packers can win this game, they'll be sitting pretty.
Yeah.
If the Lions win this game, Packers have some work to do.
Yeah, I didn't want to say it because I hate them, but I mean Dallas playing good. I know they went down 20-0 to Philadelphia, but like Dak Prescott just looked like playing his best football of his career right now that nobody's like really even talking about, which is crazy because everyone only talks about the Cowboys.
George Pickens,
right? He's a dude, man. So yeah, that scares me. I mean, I don't want to see Dallas.
Hell no, absolutely not. And obviously the Packers have 2 games against Chicago coming up too. Chicago's 8-3. So Packers beat both of them, beat them both times. I mean, that completely flips, right? Chicago's playing good football right now too, but they are more than beatable, right? They're not invincible. They've been playing a lot of bad teams, and that defense for Chicago has been bad. So the Packers defense can shut down Caleb Williams, and we're in business.
Right. They've been playing a lot of one-score games against bad teams.
100%. 100%. So nothing, the Packers aren't out of it if they lose this game, but again, sitting very pretty if they win this game. It would be a great one to have, especially then they have a long week to prepare for, I think, Chicago afterwards, right?
Yep. Yeah, it's a 3-game divisional stretch. Minnesota, Detroit, Chicago.
Yeah, so after this game, 2 Detroit on Thanksgiving, then we're home against Chicago, 2 Denver and Chicago, home against the Ravens, and then 2 Minnesota the last week of the season. No gimmies in there, all of them important games, big games. But this week, Thanksgiving, again, Packers are 3-point underdogs. The over-under is 47.5. I do think the Lions are going to win this game. I do think the Lions are going to be able to run the ball. Yeah. I think it's close, though. I don't think it's going to be a blowout in either direction. I will go Lions win. I think it's going to go under that total still, though. I think I'll go 24-20.
Okay, I'm going over. I said 28-24.
Fair. I mean, I think it's a 1-score game. So we'll see. We'll see what the Packers offense does. If they come out, I mean, what Packers fans want, to be honest, is they come out 3 runs, 3 and out, and then they get to complain about it, right? If we try to just be super run heavy against the Lions, we need to run the ball no matter what. But if we're run heavy against this team, I think it's going to be a long day.
Yep. Yeah, that brings up to another point of in the Viking game, Packers ran the ball fairly well, right? Able to get that 5-yard carry. There's nothing on Aaron Nagler's Twitter about how this is not a run blocking offensive line. So just to throw that out there. But yeah, to your point, like it's coming out establishing the run. This again, you can't get behind the lines. I know that's like really obvious to say because if they run the ball, you're done. When they run the ball, then they can pass rush with Hutchinson and the boys. And get after them. But I bitched about a couple of weeks ago that this Packers defense has been playing good. They just haven't been creating turnovers. Like the last 2 weeks, they got in a couple turnovers, which whether that's credit to the defense or credit to a pass rush or just credit to bad quarterback play, who cares, right? You're turning the ball over. And that's kind of how the Packers beat the Lions a couple of years back, right? I think they got a pick 6 in that game on Thanksgiving and another turnover. So I guess that all comes down to Micah Parsons and Rashawn Gary getting to Jared Goff and making him throw the ball up in the air.
And there's people that are butthurt about it, but I mean, rotate Kingsley Enagbare in for Rashawn Gary. He's a better pass rusher. If we're talking about getting after the quarterback, like Rashawn Gary goes to the offensive tackle. Enagbare tries to avoid the offensive tackle. It's a pretty simple concept. So I would like a nice little rotation. It would be nice if we could run that cheetah or turbo or whatever package you want to say with Lucas Van Ness at D tackle.
Yeah.
Again, unfortunately, he's out. Hopefully he gets healthy. So, he's healthy for down the stretch. That Ravens and Minnesota, maybe last 2 weeks. I can only assume it's going to be a situation where Minnesota tries to play spoiler to the Packers, right? Sure. It feels like winning you're in, lose, and the Vikings fans rub it in our faces while we both missed the playoffs. Correct. That's what it feels like.
It feels like what the Lions did to us in Aaron Rodgers' last game as Packer.
100%. It feels like we're building to that, but hopefully we can take the 3 divisional games before that, so we don't have to worry about that bullshit.
One more thing too, just to talk about Micah Parsons real quick. Like, he's been doing the Myles Garrett thing where he lines up like 2 steps back from the center and just bull rushes the hell out of him. That is so much fun to watch.
I know.
It's incredible.
I don't even know what you do, man.
Right.
As an offensive lineman.
Yeah.
Like, because with Myles Garrett, it's scary because you know where he's going to go, and he's going to blow your ass up. With Micah, he's so quick as well.
Yeah.
So he's giving himself 2, sometimes 3 gaps that he can go in when he backs up. So offensive line's like, hey, I got him. Like, they're counting, when you do protection, you're counting guys. It's like, I got him, but also you got to watch him too. Like, you got to get him too. So from an offensive line standpoint, it's a nightmare.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just so fun watching someone who's good at rushing the passer.
What a concept.
Yeah.
Haven't had that for a while, since Clay Matthews probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, big one. We'll be back next week to talk all about it. Hope you all enjoy your Thanksgiving, and hopefully, Packers set the tone, and then we'll go back for that 2nd, 3rd, 4th slice of pie after the game.
Real quick before we get off, how much they usually give 3 turkey legs out after the game? If the Packers were to win this game, who do you think gets the turkey legs? Probably Jordan Love, right? Just because it's always going to be quarterback.
Probably. I assume they give one to Micah. Does it have to go with special teams for the 3rd one?
I don't know. For sake of argument, let's say no.
Okay. I mean, I would. Ooh, that's a good question. I think I would like to see. I mean, shit. Give my boy Sean Ryan some love.
Hell yeah.
I want him to ball out this game. He was given a lot of hate, and then he's been given a lot of nothing. But he's coming in, playing center, and playing well.
Yeah. Sean Ryan's a man. I like him a lot. I agree. I'd love to see him, but it feels like however the Packers win this game, whether it's through the air or running the ball, it's either going to be Josh Jacobs or the leading receiver, right?
Yeah, I feel. I don't know why. It kind of scares me to just envision Romeo Doubs with a big turkey leg.
Agreed.
I feel like he wouldn't know what to do.
Right.
I'm not 100% sure he's human. He's just weird.
It's like a robot kind of just staring at it and analyzing what it is and how to consume it. Yeah.
Yeah. He feels otherworldly. And not, I mean, he's a talented guy, but I'm not talking about his talent. He just feels like he's trying. A lot of people on the Packers. I just talked about Jordan Love on the Flurry Sports podcast with us yesterday or on Sunday as well. It feels like Romeo Doubs is just trying to pretend to be human. And then I said on the podcast, I think Jordan Love's a sociopath. And I think he doesn't actually have emotions. And he's saying things and pretending to have emotions.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
No food for thought.
Yeah, for Romeo Doubs, it feels like a guy when he retires, you will never hear about him ever again.
No. I mean, to be honest, is he a free agent this year?
I believe so.
It wouldn't surprise me if we go into free agency and we never hear from him again.
True.
Like, no one will even mention that he didn't sign anywhere. No one will mention anything about him. It'll be like he never existed. And then 5 years from now, we'll be doing the show and we'll be like, hey, you remember that guy? And then one of us won't remember that guy. And it'll be weird.
Is he like the most, and I know we're running a little longer, but is he like the most generic, like the most, like when you think of wide receiver 3, it's Romeo Doubs?
Yeah. For the most part, yes, because he feels like a Tim Patrick. He feels like a
Parker Washington.
Parker Washington. I'm trying to think of. There's always one like weirdly long like slot guy on a team or something like that. Feels like that. His distinguishing feature is that he looks like one of the NBA Jam guys because his head's so fucking big with the Guardian cap. Other than that, because Savion Williams is kind of trying to take that role now too.
Yeah, I mean, he is just Romeo Doubs. Not skill-wise, but personality.
person. I mean, on the field, he looks that way.
Mm.
Very weird.
Yep.
It's interesting. What a guy to idolize.
Yep.
But yeah, we'll be back next week. We'll have Thanksgiving tales to tell. Hopefully you come and join us every single Wednesday night on the Flurry Sports YouTube channel. We are live talking about the Green Bay Packers. So vote for us, volume1.org, and then join us next week. Let us know you voted.